All right, let's just jump right in. We are in the middle of a massive shift. We're moving away from software that just follows a script to AI agents that think for themselves. And that's incredible. But it completely breaks our old ways of making sure things are working right. So, how on earth do we build an AI agent we can actually trust?
To really get this, think about it like this. For years, we've been building delivery trucks. They follow a fixed route, and our quality check is simple. Did it get from A to B? Easy. But now, we're building Formula One race cars. They're making split-second decisions on their own. The simple checklist we used for the truck, it's completely useless for the F1 car. And that's the exact problem we're facing with AI agents today. Which leads us to the real heart of the matter, doesn't it? How do you test a machine that has a mind of its own? How do you check for quality when a failure isn't just a bug in the code, but a genuine flaw in its judgment? And look, we're not talking about your classic system crash here. AI failures are way more subtle, and maybe a little more scary. An agent can look like it's working perfectly fine, but behind the scenes, it's using a tool the wrong way, or it's just confidently making up facts, or its knowledge is getting stale as the real world moves on. These are the kinds of quiet failures that just destroy trust over time. So what this all means is that we need a completely new playbook. We have to stop just checking the final answer. It requires a whole new mindset for what quality even means in this new world of AI. And this quote right here, this is the core principle. The trajectory is the truth. It means the entire journey the AI took to get to an answer, every thought, every decision, that's the only thing that really tells you what's going on. It's not about the destination anymore, it's all about the path it took to get there. Here's another way to think about it. Old software is like a line cook. They've got a recipe card, and our job is just to make sure they followed the steps. Simple. An AI agent, though, is like a gourmet chef in a cooking competition. They get a mystery box of ingredients and have to create something new. You can't just taste the final dish to judge their work. You have to understand their creative process. That's the huge leap from basic monitoring to true observability. So how do we actually do this? Well, you start with what's called the outside-in approach. Step one is dead simple. You act like a customer. You look at the final output and ask, did it work? Did it accomplish my goal? We call this the black box view because you're not looking inside at all. But when the answer is wrong, or even just a little weird, the black box can't tell you why it failed. That's when you have to pop the hood. You switch to the glass box view, where you can see everything. You trace its entire line of reasoning to find the exact spot where things went sideways. Okay, so if we're gonna look inside this glass box, what are we even looking for? We need a consistent scorecard, right? A real framework for defining what good even looks like for a machine that thinks. And that framework is built on these 4 pillars. First, effectiveness. Pretty basic. Did it actually do the job? Second, efficiency. Sure, it worked, but did it take the scenic route, wasting time and money? Third, robustness. What happens when things get messy, when an API it relies on is down, or the user gives it a confusing request? And finally, the most important one, safety. This is the big one, the non-negotiable. Does it operate securely and stay within the guardrails we've set? Now, you can't judge any of that if you're flying blind. You can't grade the process if you can't see the process. So that brings us to the tech. How do we get the data we need to actually peek inside the agent's mind? It all comes down to 3 technical pillars that work together. You've got logs, which are kind of like the agent's diary. Then you have traces, which turn those diary entries into a full story. And finally, you've got metrics, which give you the agent's final report card. So logs are the smallest possible piece of information. They're the raw, timestamped facts. At 10:01 a.m., I decided to call the search tool. Each one is just a single tiny clue about what the agent was up to at a precise moment in time. But a pile of logs is just noise. Traces are where the magic is. A trace is the story. It's the narrative thread that connects all those individual, scattered logs into one single, understandable story for a specific task. Think of it like the red yarn on a detective's wall, connecting all the clues to show you exactly how and why something happened. And finally, we get to metrics. These are the high-level numbers. They take all that amazing, detailed data from the logs and traces and boil it all down into a report card. This gives you that quick, at-a-glance dashboard view of overall performance, costs, and error rates. So who actually judges all this data? The answer is a team. It's a hybrid approach. We actually use AI itself to do a lot of the heavy lifting, something called LLM as a judge that can evaluate at a massive scale. But, and this is key, we pair that automation with the irreplaceable judgment of human experts who define what good really means. So when you put all of these pieces together, the definition of quality, the tools to see what's happening, and that hybrid judging team, you create something really powerful. You create an engine for continuous improvement. We call it the Agent Quality Flywheel, and it's a virtuous cycle. You define what quality looks like, you build the agent so you can see what it's doing, you evaluate the process, and then, here's the most critical part, you build a feedback loop so that every single failure is automatically captured and used to make the entire system smarter. With every turn, the flywheel spins faster, driving constant, relentless improvement. So if you only remember 3 things from all of this, make it these. 1. Evaluation isn't something you bolt on at the end, it has to be baked into the agent's design from day 1. 2. The trajectory is the truth. The full decision path is the only real measure of quality. And 3. The human is the ultimate judge. Automation gives us scale, but humans, we set the gold standard. Because really, the end goal here isn't just to build an agent that can check a box and complete a task. That's just the start. The real finish line is building agents that are so reliable, so transparent, and so aligned with our goals that we can actually grant them our trust. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. This technology, this move towards autonomy, it's happening at an incredible pace. The question is, are our methods for building trust, for ensuring quality and safety, are they keeping up? Are we ready?